from KSAT 12. Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
Hi, good morning. Happy Tuesday. It is June 11th.
Thanks for waking up with us this morning. If you heard rain overnight, you were dreaming because it did not rain overnight like it did yesterday, but there are chances of rain, right?
And that's pretty exciting because we got a lot of that rain yesterday and people were happy around the user mic. And
yeah, it was fantastic to see some of the rain. My lawn looks great now. Everybody's lawns or those that got some rain. Some folks picked up a whole bunch of it. And yes, we do have another chance for that later on today. We had a couple of storms that were trying to brew like yesterday out in northwest portions of the hill country. Those have fizzled out this morning, but there are more that are going to be developing up to the north. First of all, take a look at temperatures, and we are at 75 degrees here in town. Normal low 72, so in the ballpark. 68 right now up the road. Bernie 79 still at Port SA as well as at Stinson, and the humidity is once again not outrageous, but we do have, some of that out there, especially around Port SA with the dew point of 74 degrees. And then later on today, we do have the severe threat out there that some of those storms with high winds and hail. Now, this is going to be, once again, the odds of seeing rain are not spectacular. I got a 30% chance of seeing some sort of rain out there, but just about all of the area has at least a small chance, and then especially up in northwest portions of the hill country, going out I-10 and toward Kerrville as well as Junction to see one of those stronger storms. So a couple of scattered storms, maybe on the strong side. That's going to be later on this afternoon going into this evening, and some of those lasting overnight. Then a couple leftovers here and there tomorrow. With a few extra clouds hanging around here, we're going to stay in the mid-90s today as well as tomorrow. And then after that, it is going to be heating up. Now, as we go in toward Father's Day, yes, Dad does get 100. But I'll reveal that with the degree sign next to it. Yeah, we're going to be looking at triple digits again coming up here this weekend. All the details in just a couple of minutes. Traffic Authority, Mr. Marquez, what's going on between the yellow and white line on the road?
Absolutely, yeah. Things looking pretty good out there for all of our drivers that are about to step outside right now. As we take a look behind me, 90 at Leon Creek, of course, this is an area that we see high water there often. They actually had the access road closed there for the better part of yesterday after some of that storms that we saw come through this area, but it looks like things are now clear to go and that water has receded, especially on the frontage road there, and traffic, of course, on the main lane seems to be moving pretty well on the east and westbound lanes of 90 at Leon Creek. Interesting camera view there. Yeah, it's a little black and white, kind of giving a little bit of a different vibe this morning. But of course, the biggest thing that we're following throughout the entire morning will be ongoing construction on the northeast side of town, and that's where we find our photojournalist Alex Gomez. He is out and about on the roads for us this morning. Alex, how are things looking out there?
They're looking pretty good, RJ. This is going to be 35 northbound at Olympia Parkway. These are the northbound lanes, so no construction in this area at the moment, but we're looking good. Driving conditions are great. Dry roads this morning. RJ, yesterday, with all that rain, it was intense, but this morning, it should be a good drive. Happy Tuesday, RJ.
Yeah, definitely happy Tuesday to you too, and we'll continue to check in with Alex throughout the rest of our morning. Right now, you said he was going in the northbound lanes. It looks like the southbound lanes, we are seeing a little bit of backup here from Topper Wine Road all the way up to the 1604 and the 35 area. So we will continue to monitor the roads, especially in the northeast side of town, as they continue that expansion project. How about the north side of town? We have actually cleared out this construction, or no, that's actually still there. That's Blanco Road. That's closed right there. 1604 as they continue to do some construction work there. And 1604 eastbound at Redland Road, still seeing some delays here due to some overnight construction, basically affecting all of our drivers in the Boverde, Gold Canyon, and of course, Redland Road area. We will continue to monitor the roads and give you more updates as we get them. Patty, Stephanie, back to you guys.
Thank you, RJ. Well, our top story this morning, more money is on the way for those who work at SAISD. The Board of Trustees approving a 2% general pay raise for all full-time permanent employees. That decision came during a specially called board meeting last night. Some of their highlights from that meeting: new incoming teachers will receive an increased entry salary of $58,400, and employees with certain roles in special education, deaf education, and facilities maintenance will be considered for pay grade evaluations.
Now to the courtroom, where a former John Jay High School student charged with murder is one step closer to heading to trial. Jesus San Miguel is accused of fatally stabbing another student off campus during a lunch break. As our Erica Hernandez reports, a plea deal is possible.
A lunchtime brawl at this restaurant off Marbach last year ended with 18-year-old Joshua Eugene Kinnaman being fatally stabbed. According to an arrest affidavit, Kinnaman, along with then 18-year-old Jesus San Miguel, sat at a booth and ordered food. Surveillance video shows at some point the two started to argue. San Miguel apparently could be heard saying, "Let's go," and the two exited the restaurant. The affidavit states Kinnaman aggressively shoved San Miguel, who then allegedly took out a knife and stabbed him in the torso.
It's been a little over 6 months since San Miguel was arrested, but now he's entering the 226 District Court while out on bond, and a potential trial date is being set for this fall.
Jury selection is scheduled for September 27th with testimony to begin on October 7th. But ahead of trial, a plea deal is still possible.
We're still confirmed. We still want to talk one more time.
Defense attorney Charles Bunk and the state have until jury selection to work on that deal. If one is not agreed upon, San Miguel is facing up to life in prison if found guilty by a jury. Erica Hernandez, KSAT 12 News.
Topping your morning headlines, jury deliberations continue in the case against Hunter Biden. Jurors started deliberating yesterday afternoon after closing arguments were heard in Hunter Biden's federal gun trial. Now, prosecutors say the president's son bought a pistol back in 2018 while he was regularly using drugs. Yesterday, his family filled the courtroom.
Here you have the family that's showing love and support for a person who is giving the image of being rehabilitated. And so that could be sympathetic to the jury.
If convicted, he could face up to 25 years in prison and a fine of up to $750,000. The president says he wouldn't pardon his son if there's a conviction.
The Department of Veterans Affairs has reportedly done away with a number of jobs that provide care to veterans. Now, this has happened despite officials saying those positions would largely be protected from cuts. CNN reviewed documents and conducted interviews with more than 20 VA employees and job applicants. They discovered jobs for psychologists, clinical social workers, and other frontline positions have either been cut or job offers rescinded recently. The VA is reportedly dealing with a budget shortfall and is expected to trim 10,000 positions from its workforce.
Well, an FDA advisory committee has voted to endorse a new Alzheimer's drug. That panel agreed it is safe and effective. The drug is designed to slow the progression of early stages of Alzheimer's disease. The Alzheimer's Association welcomed the panel's unanimous vote in favor of the drug. 1 in 3 older Americans die with Alzheimer's disease or another form of dementia. Dementia kills more people than prostate and breast cancer combined. If approved by the FDA, it would be the second drug on the market to slow the progression of the disease.
Time right now at 5:07. It's 76 degrees out there already.
And just ahead, a lot of people are talking about it this morning. Apple has unveiled the long-awaited AI technology coming to the iPhone and other devices. That's next in your GMA First Look.
And taking a live look outside with Live Cam. It is still dark out there, but I know there's a few clouds out there because the chances of rain are in the forecast. Mike has that for us, telling us when we can expect some rain. Coming up later in the newscast.
In this morning's GMA First Look, the new AI features coming to your iPhone. Apple announcing what it says will be game-changing updates. Generative AI called Apple Intelligence to be integrated across its devices. The company changing everything from how you write emails to what Siri can do for you.
This is bringing AI to Apple's ecosystem. 2.2 billion iOS devices, largest install base in the world. This is marking a new chapter.
Silicon servers offer the privacy.
Apple emphasizing their focus on security, detailing in their presentation how the new technology was built with privacy in mind.
That's a huge part of their strength. It's a lockbox. So Apple doesn't really have privacy issues.
And coming up at 7 a.m., we'll have more of what you need to know about Apple's AI revolution with your GMA First Look. I'm Janae Norman, ABC News, New York.
Elegant glowing light that
Lactate is 100% real milk, just without the lactose. Delicious, too. Just ask my old friend Kevin.
Nothing like enjoying a cold one while watching the game. Who's winning?
No idea. Real milk, real delicious. And don't forget to try some delicious, creamy Lactate ice cream. What's that, Mabel?
Wow, smart cow.
Find gifts that say, I love your style on Macy's Gift Finder. Plus, our Father's Day sale starts tomorrow. Enjoy great savings on gifts for every kind of dad. Give love at Macy's.
Starbucks Frappuccino drinks. The feeling of a comforting hug from your Nana, but with the taste of creamy, delicious coffee.
Well, welcome back. It is 5:15. We want to tell you about a program to prevent violence in our community by showing love and attention to fathers. It's called the Fatherhood campaign.
Courtney Friedman shows us how they have helped thousands of local dads and are working to stop the cycle of violence in San Antonio and beyond.
I grew up in the inner city, San Antonio, 78207 area. I was a child in a family violent home, very intense home. Now, couple that with an intense violent community and then lack of resources. I shouldn't be here right now.
Survivor Frank Castro has spent his career trying to pour love back into communities like his by focusing on one thing.
Why fatherhood? Why is that specific pillar so crucial?
We know, and studies have shown, that father involvement is very critical in so many different areas, from academic achievement to success in life.
Experts on violence will say those who grew up in violent areas or violent families are more likely to have violence in their lives later.
Right, unless we talk about it in a healthy and helpful way. But we have to be willing to be vulnerable.
So 24 years ago, Castro created a space for that vulnerability, the San Antonio Fatherhood campaign.
We can have discussions about how do I parent my child, to issues of domestic violence, to child wellness.
That can be in a classroom or counseling setting or just over a cup of coffee.
I myself have seen over 10,000 men that I have provided workshops, classes, mentoring.
Most of that starts with a phone call.
And we get as many as 400 calls a month. It's a hotline where you can just ask a question. You don't even have to come in. You can do it anonymously and say, this is what's going on. What do you guys suggest? What do you guys recommend?
And this is the office where men can physically come to get their resources. Rooms like this can double as counseling rooms. And as you can see, resources like diapers, always available.
And every year on Father's Day weekend, the entire network gathers for the Father's Day Fiesta, a big celebration surrounded by resources and true fellowship.
Men actually honor other men by letting them know, I've seen you as a member of our community, as a role model.
Dads of all kinds accepting that praise in front of the next generation who will truly know fatherly love. Courtney Friedman, KSAT 12 News.
Well, this Father's Day Fiesta is happening on Saturday from 9:30 in the morning to 12:30 at Opportunity Home Park. So there will be food, music, crafts, games, awards, and tons of family resources.
Hard to believe Father's Day is coming up. We're going to have great weather to go fishing or go somewhere out in the park.
As long as you're in the shade.
I was going to say with shade for sure.
Yeah. Big hat, lots of sunscreen this weekend. So.
Yeah, definitely already making plans for Father's Day. Yeah, I need to get my dad a gift there. He's a big Cowboys fan, so hey, look, Cowboy suit right here. Not for my dad, but just because we're all wearing blue today.
yes, all across. Well, there, that's one of your gifts. You can
That'll
take
be
a
one
selfie.
of them. Yes, definitely. All right, guys, let's take a look at our TransGuide traffic cameras here real quick. We have got a lot of construction taking place in the area, and I'm glad we started there at Gold Canyon because we've cleared out that construction there. 90 Leon Creek, we have cleared out that those barriers that were blocking some of that access road, that frontage road in that area. I-10 at Brazos, we still have a lot of work being done with the bridge joints. Hadn't talked about those bridge joints in some time now, and we do have a stalled vehicle right there, I-10 at Escondido Creek. All right, last time we checked in with photojournalist Alex Gomez, he was on the northeast side of town. Looks like he's maybe looping around a little bit. So Alex, just give us an idea of what you're seeing out there, because we know there's a lot of things taking place over by 35 and 1604.
Yeah, and I'm headed that way right now. I'm actually going to go up 281 to 1604 to check out Redland, but I was on the northeast side coming down 35 southbound. Those barrels are still out. We only have one lane open from the Forum down to Topperwine, but it's so light in traffic right now. It only took me about 5 minutes to get through that. So add that to your commute, 5 minutes if you're headed out right now, 35 southbound. on the northeast side, RJ.
All right. Thank you very much, Alex. Yeah, and I think the area that Alex may be headed to right now is this situation here, 1604 at Redland Road. So again, a lot of construction taking place here on this side of 281, especially around the Gold Canyon area and the Bulverde Road area there as well. And of course, Blanco Road, that's been an ongoing situation there as well. They're actually doing what's called a diamond intersection at Blanco Road. That's still going to take a long time before they get that whole situation cleared out there in Blanco Road, 1604. All right, northeast side again, one more quick check before we get to weather. 45 miles per hour, you're coming in from the Forum, Live Oak area down to Topperwine Road and further into Judson Road and O'Connor. So again, things looking pretty good for the most part, but still seeing a lot of construction activity out there. Mike, it's felt a little bit better out this morning. So
yeah, not bad.
Yeah.
Humidity's okay. So a diamond intersection?
It's called a diamond intersection, yes. It's an interesting engineering feat. Yeah, we'll dig into that more.
Interesting. I never heard that. Thank you very much. All right. It's not bad when you step outside this morning. Temperatures are in the 70s right now. Humidity is okay. It's not ridiculously high, but our typical higher morning humidity, and it'll drop down somewhat later on this afternoon. We are going to make it up to 88 degrees at noon today, and then we'll start to see a few showers and thunderstorms try and develop around the area, primarily later on this afternoon up in portions of the hill country. So here's what's going on. First of all, this is a look at radar, and we've got this. There was another batch of rain out here. That fizzled on out. This one has moved in from the northwest. Still going pretty good there, so maybe in northern portions of Alberta County, but there are indications that this is starting to kind of weaken just a bit. Obviously, you're going to keep watching this as it works its way along I-10 this morning. And then further out to the northwest, up there around the Panhandle, as this loops back on through, you can see this upper low right here. This is what's going to be working its way down across the state and throwing these little disturbances wrapping around that. So we've got this one. See, there's that one that fizzled out from earlier this morning. And then that second one has popped up, and then that's going to throw the disturbances in here. So that's why computer models are, and once again, that one also shows that batch of rain out there this morning fizzling out. And then by late this afternoon, there's the next round of a few of those showers and thunderstorms that are going to be developing out there in parts of the hill country and working their way, kind of wrapping around that big upper low, working their way down through the area. And then it looks like another wave of that. So it's kind of like a wheel spinning up there, and the different spokes come, of little bits of energy come sweeping on through here. And so that'll be the case even going into the wee hours of tomorrow morning. So in places, it's looking right now like it is going to be a damp commute. Also, out in parts of the hill country, some of those storms may be on the strong, potentially severe side. The risk is everywhere. And again, it's not like we're going to be seeing rain everywhere. Rain chances are about 30%. But if something does pop with the volatile atmosphere, especially in northwestern portions of the hill country, some of those storms may be potentially on the strong to severe side. So 95 for high temperature today, a couple of those showers and storms. And then tomorrow, one or two leftovers around here. Then after that, well, faucets get shut off and the heat gets cranked up a little bit. 96 on Thursday, 98 Friday, and we are looking at triple digits going in through the long holiday weekend. Flag Day, of course, on Friday, Father's Day on Sunday, and we'll stay at 100 even going into Monday. More after this. Stick around.
Welcome back. In Hollywood this morning, the show that changed reality television is back for its 20th season.
Well, CNN's David Daniel catches up with two fishing captains for today's Hollywood Minute.
This is more than just fishing to make money. It's a race against time.
The 20th season of Deadliest Catch sees the long-awaited reopening of Alaska's lucrative red king crab fishery and the first derby-style race in ages.
King crab is my bread and butter, and now it's back. The king crab fisherman. It's what everyone wants to be.
It's first come, first serve.
They're right on our heels.
There's going to be conflict. Get your up here. It's Derby season. We're going by Derby rules.
We had to show real time that our fishing was productive and with productive numbers. And to do that, you had to go old school.
I need to catch crab, and I just lost everything.
You're telling me can't go on my boat right now. You can come here if need be.
Everybody's watched me climb up the ladder and make it to the top. Well, these next seasons, on season 20, you're actually going to see me falling, and holding on with just a couple fingers.
If I don't produce, I'm out of the chair.
People see what we do and what it takes to get it.
There's no retakes, there's none of that stuff, there's no green screen.
Every split second can mean the difference between life and death.
In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
Looks scary. Time now, 5:28 and 76 degrees for now.
Now,
we are still seeing weak demand for gasoline, and that, coupled with lower crude oil prices, is actually bringing pump prices down all across the country.
prices are dropping at the gas pump just in time for summer travel. Just ahead, why experts are saying this is so rare. We'll be right back.
Good morning. Welcome back. It is 5:31 and happy Tuesday to everybody.
Yeah, happy Tuesday, y'all.
Happy Tuesday. I didn't get your card. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's okay. I think we're wearing blue, celebrating yesterday's big rain. Yeah.
Sure. And I like that one. And we have more rain to celebrate maybe later on today as well. So take a look at what's going on out there. And yeah, it's not bad this morning. A little bit of humidity, but nothing too extreme. And we've got a heat index right now up to 77. The air temperature is 75. So again, not anything just outrageously high. We're still a little bit above normal as far as temperatures are concerned. Now, later on this afternoon, we are going to start to see a few showers and thunderstorms develop out in portions of the hill country. There's actually one little cell way out to the northwest right now, but it looks like, and there's one just before that earlier this morning, that one fizzled on out. It looks like this one's going to fizzle on out, but there's a big low up there to the north, and that's going to bring some more of this energy in here. That's going to give us another chance for a couple of showers and thunderstorms to develop later on today. And again, some of those may be on the strong, potentially severe side. The atmosphere is ripe. Rain chances overall aren't spectacular, but especially in northwest portions of the hill countries where you really have to be on the lookout for some of those high winds as well as large hail and a couple of heavier downpours. I mean, we had some really, really heavy downpours yesterday, so we're pretty much in the same situation. 82 at 10 o'clock this morning, and then we are going to continue to see temperatures get up to the mid 90s later on today. Again, that 30% chance for a few showers and thunderstorms out there. That's pretty much going to be about it. Some of those last in the overnight hours and maybe a stray one here or there tomorrow. But then after that, it is definitely going to start to heat up as we head on in toward the holiday weekend. Father's Day, of course, this weekend. Flag Day on Friday. All those details coming up in just a couple of minutes. Traffic Authority, what's going on, RJ?
All right, Mike. Yeah, taking a look at some of our TransGuide traffic cameras, and we had an incident here, eastbound lanes right there on the far east side of town at Escondido Creek, but it looks like things have actually cleared out in this area, so that's good news. It was just a stalled vehicle, but crews made their way out there, and it looks like we are smooth sailing for the most part right now. All right, Alex Gomez has been on the roads for us, our photojournalist, checking things out traffic-wise. Alex, how are things looking out there?
Yeah, so far, not really any issues over here. I went through 1604 at Redland. Construction seems to have been wrapping up over here. Now I'm over on 1604 East near Nacogdoches Road, so it should be a good drive if you're headed out to work or to go shopping. I know you said you might want to get a Dallas Cowboys gift for Father's Day. You might want to think about San Antonio Brahmas. They actually win, RJ.
Oh, wow. All right. Hey, taking a shot at the Dallas Cowboys here early on a Tuesday morning. I didn't know the Cowboys were going to be taking strays this early in the morning, but yeah, shout out to San Antonio Brahmas as they are returning home back to Texas to take care of the United Football League championship game. All right, Alex, thank you very much for that. And yeah, man, the Cowboys just taking some shots here this morning. All right, hey, speaking of construction, we still have this backup here, 35 1604 Forum, Live Oak area, and we're seeing a little bit of buildup here at 35 going south to Topperwine Road. Of course, a lot of ongoing construction in that area throughout the rest of this week. But again, everything else for the most part has been looking pretty good. Also looking good, there is a new price drop actually when it comes to gas prices, and that's because it's coming during the busy summer travel season. And this is a big surprise because this is typically when these prices spike. So one factor is the increased oil and gas production here in the U.S. Gas prices nationwide fell 10 cents in the last week. That's the biggest weekly decline of the year.
Some states are seeing bigger breaks than others. Of course, the West Coast still has among the highest prices in the nation, but that is typical. But we are expecting that more and more states could see their statewide average drop below the $3 per gallon mark in the coming weeks.
Yeah, and actually at last check, gas here in San Antonio had dropped to about $2.83 per gallon of unleaded gas. So that's good news. That's about a 10 to 15% drop from what we've seen over the past few weeks or so, or even the past month or so. So again, anytime we get under the $3 mark, that's good news for our drivers out there, especially again with a lot of summer plans, making plans in general. So things getting ready and you want to hit the roads out there. So that's good news out there. We will continue to follow the gas price situation throughout not only San Antonio, but the rest of the state. All right, guys, that's a quick check of traffic. Let's go back to Patty and Stephanie.
Thanks, RJ. New this morning, assault and family violence. More and more kids in our community under the age of 17 are getting arrested for these types of crimes. Now, in the latest report by the Juvenile Probation Department shows there's a 32% rise in felony aggravated assault and an 11% rise in misdemeanor assaults. But what's the community doing to reduce this teen crime?
In the first 3 months of this year, 86 teens under the age of 16 years old have been referred to the Juvenile Detention Center on a felony aggravated assault charge.
The type of crimes that we're seeing and the videos that we keep seeing of these crimes is certainly very, very alarming.
It's a trend that's been on the rise since before 2020, says Bexar County Chief Juvenile Probation Officer Jill Mata.
We're seeing a lot of assaults and violent behavior on the part of children. We're not really seeing an increase in the actual aggravated crimes like robbery or sexual assault, but the cases that are coming in are just very, very alarming.
As summer approaches, she warns of 2 weapons kids have easy access to that's getting them into trouble: guns and social media.
The increase in children with weapons and their display of that are kind of glorifying that on social media.
When a young person acts up in school, or if they act up after school, if they act up in their neighborhood, but they're still 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 years old, they're telling us they need more support than what they're getting.
Ryan Legalia Holland with a partnership helps coordinate support for over 50 local agencies that back after school and youth programs.
Right now, only 6% of our city budget is dedicated to child and youth programs.
Bottom line, he says, funding for youth programs in low-income communities could result in a reduction of teen crime, but that takes long-term vision and investment.
One of the things that we've proposed is that as the city charter gets voted on this fall, that 20% of all revenue growth in the city be dedicated to children and youth.
He thinks.
And again, UP Partnership helps coordinate nonprofits and school district youth programs. Their goal is to get 70% of teens to get into college or a certification when they graduate in the next few years. Right now, only about 50% of our grads are doing that.
Well, the feds have announced a plan to take aim in Texas at devices that convert semi-automatic weapons into fully automatic machine guns. The devices are now in the sights of the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives and the U.S. Attorney's Office. Now, yesterday, these agencies unveiled an effort to crack down on the illegal devices and the people use them. Garrett Behringer went to a gun range to see them in action.
It's called a switch. It's a small piece of metal or plastic, and it can turn a legal semi-automatic handgun into an illegal machine gun. Josh Felker at Lone Star Handgun showed us the difference between 15 rounds on semi-auto and 15 rounds with a switch. It's even more dramatic side by side.
I don't think I hit the seal but one time on that one.
The U.S. Attorney's Office and the ATF say that inherent inaccuracy is precisely the problem.
These weapons are notoriously difficult to control and notoriously difficult to aim. That brings a much greater risk to innocent bystanders whenever they're used.
And they say they're becoming more popular. Of all the switches seized by Texas-based ATF agents in the past 7 years, nearly half came just in 2023. So across Texas, the feds are launching a new initiative, Operation Texas Kill Switch. The big part is through the end of August offering cash rewards for anonymous tips about people who have switches or 3D printers that are making them. We've got more information on how that works precisely in this story on our website. Check it out on KSAT.com.
Now to a warning from the San Antonio police chief. There are safer ways to help the homeless. The chief making the comment after a man was reportedly assaulted and carjacked while trying to give a panhandler money. It happened on North Zarzamora, not far from I-10 and Culebra on the west side of town. It is a reminder for those who want to help someone in need.
We don't want people to be afraid of those who are struggling, and yet we want to make sure that if you are going to give back to somebody that you do it in a safe way.
Don White Fostick with Christian Assistant Ministries recommends giving back through a nonprofit. If you would like to donate or volunteer, we have information on KSAT.com.
Time now is 5:40 and 75 degrees for now.
Taking a live look outside with live cam this morning. What a beautiful shot. Traffic moving along there pretty nicely. We're going to get a check on our traffic coming up in just a few minutes.
Welcome back. It's 5:44. Well, in your morning consumer news, Apple unveiled several new software features for its devices at its Worldwide Developers Conference. As ABC's Andrew Dimbert reports, it has a lot of people buzzing this morning.
In today's Tech Bites, big news for iPhone users. Apple is adding enhancements to its messaging app with RCS, an advancement on SMS. The upgrade improves message quality, adds encryption, and enables features like read receipts and typing indicators for Android and iPhone users, making cross-platform chats seamless and secure. Apple's Photo app is also getting a major makeover, including smarter organization, auto collages, and a new carousel view. Apple says users will be able to find favorite pictures more easily. And finally, Apple's AirPods Pro just got smarter. An update will include new head nodding gestures, which let you silently respond to Siri, making interactions easier in crowded places. Plus, the update will include improved voice isolation to enhance call quality in noisy environments. These updates sound simply irresistible. Those are your Tech Bites. Have a great day.
Remember when we used to think the phones were listening to us?
I think they still are.
Okay, I'm glad we're in agreement with that.
It's going to get worse.
It's getting better.
Yeah, or worse or better. I don't know. Depends how you look at it.
Time right now, 5:45, 75 degrees out there.
Let's look out there with TransGuide this morning, looking over at Loop 1604. Looked good over there. This shot over here at Highway 90 at Leon Creek. Things are moving this morning. Well, there you go. There's that construction over there at I-35 at Topperwine. We're going to get a check-in with RJ Marcus about all these roadways very soon.
5:49 right now on your Tuesday morning, and things looking pretty good if you're about to step outside right now as we take a look at some of our TransGuide traffic cameras. 281 Brook Hollow on the north side of town had some construction there over by 281 1604, but that has been cleared out. 281 right there, Wilderness Oak traffic looking pretty good in both directions right there. Again, the biggest thing that we're seeing at the moment will be this ongoing situation there on the northeast side of town as we take a look at our maps here real quick. This is going to be extending from 35, the Forum area, down to Topperwine Road. And good job here by some of our crews kind of clearing out some of this overnight work. You know what? A lot of times these construction crews, they don't get a great rap, especially with the work that they're doing out there. But it looks like they have definitely cleared things out for us for the most part on your Tuesday morning commute. Want to show you real quick some inbound and outbound traffic times as we take a look at our citywide map. And again, things for the most part looking pretty good. Inbound right now, if you're coming in from the New Braunfels area, it's going to take you about 35 minutes or so. How about our folks on the south side of town? If you're coming in from Pleasanton, 25 minutes to get to downtown San Antonio, 31 minutes from Floresville. And let's check out some of our outbound times here real quick as we get a look at some of the times there. And sticking with the south side, southwest side, our folks out in there in Lytle, 18 minutes to get out from downtown San Antonio out there to Lytle. And of course, Castroville being one spot that we usually see kind of get busy around this time of the morning, especially as we get closer to our 6 o'clock hour. All right, so coming up at 6 o'clock, we're going to check back in with Alex Gomez. Again, he has been hitting the roads for us and maybe has some more hot takes on the Cowboys or on the Spurs or what Wemby's going to do this summer. But no, Alex has been great so far for us, guys. And yeah, we'll check in with him top of 6 o'clock and get an update, a live update look at our roads.
Sorry, I was getting a picture right there. So
welcome.
We missed you.
Yeah, the dig against the Cowboys, I mean, just came in from left field right
Kind of
there.
left you speechless, didn't it?
Yeah, I didn't expect the Cowboys
Guard
to
was
take
down,
some
not
shot.
even football season.
How many cups of coffee has that already?
Yeah,
He's on
exactly.
it.
Well, I mean, he's not wrong. The Brahmas are doing really well.
Hey, shout out to the Brahmas. Yeah, they've been doing great.
And I was looking at my tie, and it's like, is this kind of Honolulu blue? Lions colors. Sorry.
Lions.
All right. Talking about some of the rain that we had around here yesterday, some folks out at the airport about, let's see, what was it, 3/4 of an inch approximately. Look at this rain gauge. Wow. And this was on the far west side where a bunch of that rain fell. And we had some reports, 3, 4, close to 5 inches worth. So, yeah, it was fantastic. And we will have some more around the area tonight. Now, not everybody's going to be seeing rain like was the case yesterday or late Sunday night, early yesterday. But if you do, could have some more of those hefty downpours out there. All right, so we're watching this cluster of storms. There was one earlier this morning, and it fizzled on out. Now, this one, you can see it's got 2 cells right there by ozone. It's way, way far away. Going to keep an eye on this thing. My guess right now, just based on what has been happening and looking at some of the computer models, is that this thing would continue to fizzle out somewhat. Here's the satellite and radar loop going back 12 hours, and here's the first little batch, and that just kind of died down. And this second one, so it's running into atmosphere that's already been kind of worked over by that first cell. So obviously keep an eye on that. But like I said, it looks like that will be kind of settling down. But look at this low up here. This is what is taking these things and taking these little bits of energy and throwing them down in our direction. So that's what's going to be happening as we go into later on today. Mid 70s this morning. We'll make it up to 88 at noon. And obviously keep an eye on that little storm out there to the northwest. Then later on this afternoon, with those bits of energy kind of wrapping around that low up there in the panhandle, that's going to give us, once again, a couple of stray showers and thunderstorms. So, computer model, here is that cell, and as you saw, it was just fizzling on out. So that, again, see what the computer, if it is correct on that. And then later on this afternoon, here's the few more that are going to be popping up around here. And they will continue to develop. Again, not many. Odds of rain overall are not that great. But if something does pop, they could be strong, potentially severe with a couple of those heftier downpours. But again, the majority of folks won't be seeing that. And this is going to be the situation then overnight going into early tomorrow morning. So tomorrow morning could be a repeat of what we had yesterday morning. Also, there is the risk for strong, potentially severe storm out there, especially in northwest portions of the hill country. High winds, large hail, going to be the biggest threats, and of course, maybe even a couple of heftier downpours. 95 today, 94 tomorrow. We'll still have a few stray showers or a storm kind of hanging around the area tomorrow. Then we get into Thursday, and that's when we start to heat up. Right now, the faucet gets shut off, and temperatures are going to be up in their mid-upper 90s, and then we're looking at triple digits once again by Saturday, Sunday, and the first part of next week.
Triple digits on Father's Day.
Yep.
Which means you just have to stay inside and not work on the lawn. Right?
Okay.
Yeah. Take a break, dads.
Can I record that somewhere so I can have evidence of it? So.
Yes, we will take care of that right now. Thank you, Mike. Time now 5:54 and 75 degrees for now.
Good morning. It's great to be with you on this Tuesday. We'll start with the story I know you've all been following, the Hunter Biden case. It is now in the hands of the jury. Dan Abrams is here to break it down. Also, Georgia's interview with some of the Sandy Hook shooting survivors. They're preparing to graduate high school. He'll talk about their memories, advocacy, and plans for the future. And how one dad made it his mission to set his son up for financial literacy success. And then our friend Michael Simon here to help fire up Father's Day cookouts. You don't want to miss it all on GMA.